So are limitations our opportunities?
So yes.
Depending on what it is.
So if you remember last week, we said our limitations are old stories, and Deb said yes. And then I was like, well, we have nothing else to talk about. But now Deb says our limitations are opportunities. And I say, yes, that's it. We're no more to talk about.
And the Deb goes, but hang on.
So no, it's an interesting part. This is about, to me, it's about assessing. Actually, just to dial back a little bit on what you were saying about rating ourselves on that scale of 0 to 10, I think that this reflects on this idea of limitations as opportunities too, because it's about assessing.
Debz is a stressologist. She will stretch your mindset to think bigger than you've ever thought before, with follow-through techniques that are realistic and achievable to blow any fear out of your mind. Moira is a mindset cultivator. She will help you align your personal trinity of self-trust, inner awareness, and self-confidence so that you discover and share your unique gifts and purpose. Together, their goal with these conversations is to share how our inclinations do not always work in our best interest, and to provide the knowledge to leverage the gifts that already exist within each one of us. Their desire is to help you learn how to access the habits and behaviors that will lead to positive change and your best quality of life. Welcome to your deliciously motivated mindset.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Debz Cooper and Moira. How do you say your surname?
Hutchison. No,
Hutchison.
In the middle. Hutchison.
Oh, well, there you go. So this is Debz and Moira from the Deliciously Motivated Mindset Conversations. Mm-hmm. Welcome to Moira and welcome to our listeners.
Welcome. Thanks, Deb.
Yay. And today we are doing a follow-up on one of our previous, part two of our previous podcast. And obviously there's a little bit of a switch of a title on this one. But first, if you have listened or haven't listened to us before, we're just going to go down the path of doing something that we do. And this is about rating yourself or judging yourself, whatever you want to call it. And it's just an acknowledgement to where you are in your mind and physical body right here, right now. So when we say rate ourselves, a 0 is neutral, just completely sitting in the present, and that I'm not going to say that beautiful space, but just sitting there. There is no urgency to do something, no regret for the past, just present. And it's a real
knowing that all is well in your world.
Yeah. And then a 10, which is between a 9 and 11 for those with my accent, is chaos. That's all.
Feeling
chaos.
Stuck. Nowhere to, don't know what to do. What's up or down.
And even just the whole, if I said to you, what number are you at? And you instantly go, oh, there is no number that can tell me where I am. That's a 10.
That is a 10.
So that's a 10. So we rate ourselves at the start of this call and we rate ourselves at the end of the call. And our intention is to bring you closer to a 0. Now, sometimes that doesn't happen. You may sit where you are. I know sometimes I've dropped back down closer to the 10, or maybe I've gone from a 2 to a 5 or something, because it's allowed things for me to question myself and who I am, what I've done, or whatever comes up on this podcast. So our intention is definitely to bring you a 0, but it's actually our intention is to open your awareness to what we're going to talk about today.
That's right.
Whether it takes you closer to a 10 or a 0. So in saying that, our topic is our limitations, our opportunities. Mm-hmm. And there's 2 things we've started doing. And one is, where are you energetically, mentally ready for today? And then what about the topic number? So where would you be, Moira, on this?
on the topic,
Yeah.
I'm going to put myself at a 2, maybe a 2.5 or a 2. No, up 2. I went to actually at 2. How about you?
I'm definitely going to say a 2 as well, because the topic's an interesting one.
It is, because our last week's episode, we talked about limitations being, are limitations old stories? And now we're going to talk about them as opportunities. So one of the things too, Deb, is that we are doing this back-to-back episode, because this episode is, drum roll.
Is it? This is it.
This is our 100th. This is our 100th episode. Which is why we wanted to just kind of because limitations is one of the things that keep us playing small or holding back or questioning or doubting. So I think that that's part of why we had decided that we would do back to back, but then, celebrating the fact that this is our 100th one.
Wow. Is it only 100?
It's only 100.
Only 100. Wow. I remember the first time I met you.
I do too.
Yeah. I was actually talking about that the other day with somebody. Someone said, how did you meet her?
It was on my birthday.
Was it?
It was on my birthday.
Oh, I didn't even know that either.
Yes, you did, because you sang happy birthday.
I was going to say, I probably did know, but then forgot, didn't log it into my mind. Oh my God, of course I sang happy birthday.
Of course you did.
Meet a complete random who says it's their birthday. What does Deborah do? She sings happy birthday. And then that person goes from a 2 to a 10. Oh, great. Oh, wow. Okay. Anyway, enough about our meetings.
That was
that could have been our limitations. That was definitely an opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and you're
anyway,
right. Yes.
Yeah, we definitely we actually could, because that was definitely okay. Our limitations are opportunities. Yes. That's a crux of what we're going to talk about. And congratulations to our 100th episode.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking exciting.
I know.
I can't believe I forgot about that. Just as well, Moira's onto it.
That's because that's why I keep all the records and the
yeah, that's
and
the one.
The text and the Google Drive files and etc.
Oh, Google Drive, that drives me insane. Anyway, that's another story. Limitations are opportunities.
That actually sounds like a limitation.
It totally is. I'm a Dropbox girl. Oh, people go, do you use Google Drive? More and more people are saying, get onto Google. I'm like, I just look, do you know how long it's taken me to figure out Dropbox? So, okay, so let's crack on. Clearly we already have. So our limitations, our opportunities.
So yes.
Depending on what it is.
So if you remember last week, we said our limitations old stories, and Deb said yes. And then I was like, well, we have nothing else to talk about. But now Deb says our limitations are opportunities. And I say, yes, that's it. We're no more to talk about.
And the Deb goes, but hang on.
So no, it's an interesting part. This is about, to me, it's about assessing. Actually, just to dial back a little bit on what you were saying about rating ourselves on that scale of 0 to 10, I think that this reflects on this idea of limitations as opportunities too, because it's about assessing, right? Because if, a limitation might be, oh, I can't go up and say that to that person, or I can't do this or say that or sign this up, or right. So it's about, to me, this is about assessing, is that sense of a limitation coming from a place of me playing small or buying into somebody else's agenda or following a pattern or a mindset that is an old, outdated version of me? And you can only, each one of those pieces that I just said at any time could be yes. And then if it's a limitation that says, oh, I can't do that. And I may have actually shared this story with you on our last episode about my perceived limitation of, oh, I couldn't have a course upon global spiritual studies.
Yes, you did.
All
That's
these
right.
people. So that's my limitation. And it actually was an opportunity to say, smarten up, stop telling yourself the story, because you can, and I did. Right.
And I think with that one, as an opportunity, you didn't take action straight away on uploading, but you took the opportunity as a questioning process or a transition in your mind.
Precisely. That's what I mean about assessing. Yeah.
And I think that's if you take the time to assess, acknowledge it, okay, and assess it, then you can decide left or right.
Yes, exactly.
But if you're just plowing forward without assessing,
yes,
well, that's
asking for trouble.
Yeah, just like
yeah.
But then in my mind, I'm like, there's a bit of Debra in that. I'll just keep going forward. I won't stop to assess. Oops, fell off the wagon.
Yeah. Do you know, it's really funny? It reminds me of I've told you and shared with our listeners before that part of my own healing journey is I've had 3 burnouts in my corporate career. Actually, I had 2 burnouts in my corporate career and then 1 in the healing arts. So the one in the healing arts was a real wake-up call, because it's like, it isn't the corporate work necessarily.
Yeah, that made me go,
It's the Moira here. it's the Moira pattern. But so I was working with a homeopathic doctor, and we were like really talking and dialoguing. What's my pattern? How do I do things? And she created this wee analogy of what Moira did. How Moira did things was I would go, oh, there's a great idea. And I'd run 150 miles an hour at it until I hit the wall, and then, I hit my nose. This is what she did. And so all I would do is then pivot and then go, what's the next good idea? And run full kilter at that, and then bash my nose again, and turn this way. And so that's what she did. She painted this whole scenario that I'm just basically stuck in this circle with this pattern.
Which is like the motorcycles in the circus going around in that.
Yeah, a bit like that. But it was really hurting my nose.
Yeah, they don't often fall off. Yeah.
But you see what I mean? It's like,
that's a great analogy. That's actually a great analogy, because I do have parts of that as well.
Right. Yeah, I think we both do. It's just that I haven't done that since this part of my healing journey is just, this is why assessing is so important. Because sometimes you will just go, to hell with it, bull in china shop, I'm just going to charge ahead. Come what may, I can do this. I'll figure it out.
And I'll just deal with, I remember talking to a mentor recently, and one of the things she said is, when you get to a tunnel, do you go left, right, or straight ahead? And I was like, and when she said it, I was like, that's a stupid question. Like, in my mind, I'm like, well, you just go straight ahead, because you don't have to take any more energy to turn left or right. Like, that's, I probably actually even said that knowing me. And she was like, but why would you? And I'm like, but she said, did you not want to investigate what's down? Did you not want to stop and pause and look and see what you could see, and what has this and the smell and the and I'm like, no. And I was left with, wow. And like, she wasn't saying it was a bad idea, but she was basically saying, did you not want to assess the danger that you could have down there? And I'm like, no. Like, for me, I'm just like, I can handle anything. I'll just go straight ahead. And it was quite an interest. She was like, most people don't do that. I'm like, yeah, but I can handle anything. I'm just going to deal with it,
Right.
Like, but can you handle everything? And I'm like, well, I thought I could until I was talking to you. Now I'm starting to wonder. She said, but what if you could hear, if you're saying go straight ahead, and as you started walking, you could hear the lions. I'm like, well, then I'd turn around. And she goes, but you've made a decision. I'm like, yeah, but I'd turn around. Like, to me, I was like, why are we having this stupid conversation? Like, this just seems stupid. I could assess the danger then, and I can change my pattern at any time. But it was quite an interesting thing. And that's exactly what you're saying, is that turn left, turn right.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is,
but it's that assessment.
It's the assessment, absolutely.
Yeah. Which can come in at any time, and you can change at any time.
And that's a beautiful thing. I love that you brought that up too, because, and people that know me know this about me, is that we've talked before that I use a lot of human design. So my inner authority from the human design perspective is my intuition. So that means that I can't really plan ahead. I can't tell you, what's the choice you're going to make when you get there, 6 months down the line. So I don't know. I'll recognize it when I get there. Because that's the thing about me and I've encouraged many of my clients over the years to use this question, is how do I feel about myself here? So to your point, you just did that, is that if you committed to going through that tunnel and then there's lions, you would know right away, how does this make me feel about myself? It makes me feel a little discombobulated because there's lions. So I'm going to take evasive action. I'm going to deal with it.
As soon as I freaking could.
Yes. Yeah. And so, sometimes limitations can be inherited things from coaches and mentors and well-meaning family members, etc. Of, oh, don't go down that way because it's dangerous. Or
well, that's
it's not
their
good
own.
for you, or
that's their own beliefs, stories, whatever, and we can attach to that as quick as we can.
We can attach to that and then actually have them so embedded within us that we don't even realize they're not ours.
And that's what I love when you're coaching with somebody, and I'm sure you've done it before. Where did that story come from?
Yeah, whose voice is that?
Who told you that? Yeah, and then they're like, and just seeing that, like, oh no, I can't do that. But even just asking that question, people are like, it's mine. And you're like, okay, great, let's go down that path and let's really see. And then it's like, oh, no, that's not mine.
Yeah.
No, actually, my mum said that to my sister. I just heard it. And you hear these, but even just that can take 5 seconds, 10 seconds of your day.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can acknowledge that 5 seconds, 10 seconds of assessing, it doesn't have to be a whole, like, I was talking to someone recently and they said, oh, I can't do that because I need to find my own space. I need to find a beautiful space to sit down. I need to make sure the kids are okay. I need to make sure I've got my water I've got. And I'm like, no, you don't.
No.
Just stop. Just stop right wherever you are and take a moment, like what that guy did when I was talking to the police communications the other day. And he just said, just stop. As soon as you can, stop. And then he said, and put your hand on your heart and just start breathing again. And of course he frickin' said, put your hand on your heart, which is the same thing Moira tells me, which I tell him, like, oh, as I'm parked up outside a church, of course, like everything's like, rightio, okay, I know I've got everybody supporting me right now.
Even if you thought you were limited before.
Yeah, absolutely, completely limited to, why didn't they get that guy who did this? And why are they not listening to me as I'm ranting and raving? All those things. But that was just exactly it. It's just that stop. Yeah. And that just took 2 seconds, 3 seconds, maybe 5 seconds at the start, just to put my hand on my heart and just start breathing again. And everything just settled down. And
comes back down to the zero and you find your balance, right? Yeah. Absolutely.
Hyperventilating, put your hand on your heart.
Yeah.
I mean, there's other things clearly, but if you just start with one little thing, like, and that's an opportunity to take you out of, so that person's basically saying there's a limitation. I need to make sure the kids are sorted. I need to make sure this, I need to make sure my diary's sorted. I've got this, and this. No, just stop right here, right now.
Yeah.
Just stop.
The sad thing is too, when we get into that kind of thing of limitation of I have to have the environment just so, I have to have this. I
was one like that massively.
Yeah, but that's telling the inner core of us that we don't matter. We don't matter enough to just go, hey, right here, right now, I can put my hand on my heart, take a deep breath, and that's maybe all you need to do.
And that's 3 seconds.
Yeah.
If that's not, I'll find time in a moment and I'll do this and I'll do that. Yeah, that's exactly it. Stop everything. 3 seconds. Can you stop for 3 seconds, everybody, and just breathe? And if you have to go to 5 seconds or 10 seconds
So my recommendation is actually 3 cycles of breath.
Yeah.
In and out, 3 cycles of breath. I choose 5, and I would prefer people to find 5, but I know that sometimes chaos is happening.
I've actually
Even if you got to 3.
I say, so when you do the breathing, we're just, going down this, we don't even know what path we're going on, just by the way. I say to
because
people,
we have no limitations on this.
It's all an opportunity. I say to people, breathe in through your nose and then hold for a bit, and then breathe out through your mouth and then hold for a bit and then breathe in through your nose. Is that how you do your breathing, or?
There's different types of breathing techniques that I teach people, but that is a really good one.
Oh, okay. That's the one I teach, because that's the only one. That's the one I do. So of course I'm going to teach the one I do. Don't give me another one, Moira. Okay, give me another one.
All right. So the one that is really, really good, if you're like really stressed out and on the verge of hyperventilating, what you do is you can do the in through your nose and out through your mouth if you like, or just in and out of your nose. But what you're doing is you're counting. So you're going to breathe in for the count of 5 and hold for the count of 2, and then breathe out for the count of 10 and hold for the count of 2. In for 5, hold for 2, out for 10, hold for 2, in for 5, hold for 2. And here's why: because the longer exhale is actually allowing you to drop into presence.
Oh.
So you breathe in, hold, and then think about when you you get a shock. You go sharp intake. That's shock. But then when you realize everything's okay.
Oh yeah, you do really. Oh,
yeah. And so that's what that cycle is doing.
A quick wee message before we get back to this episode. You can get access to a special gift Moira and Debz have put together for you. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift. When you sign up, you'll receive instant access to an inner peace kit and the 30 Days of Wisdom program, both of which is intended to help you feel deliciously motivated right away. Go to deliciouslymotivatedmindset.com/gift.
So just even in saying that, when Moira was telling me, I'm like, oh my God, how the frick am I going to remember 5, 2, 10, 2, 5, 2, 10, 2, 5, 2, 10, 2? And so my limitations, I've just written it down as well. My limitations really went in and went, oh my God, how am I going to store this into my head? My head is so full of it. So there was all these internal mind chatter that went, how am I going to remember that? How am I going to remember that? Oh my God, 5, 2, 10, 2. That sounds like a genius idea. I love that idea. I'm going to be able to teach it. Oh my God, how am I going to? So my limitations instantly went on this crazy train. And then I went, write it down.
Write it down. And then didn't it help you when I just shared about the sharp
story
intake
that
of
went,
breath?
yes.
Yep. And then the phew, right? And that's really what you're doing. It's actually what that does is it is accessing your vagus nerve. Your vagus nerve it's called vagus nerve. It's the wandering nerve. It's a very important central nervous system nerve plexus that actually connects with 5 out of the 7 chakras. So it's very important to keep, strengthening that muscle.
Do you know what I love about Moira is I looked at that and I went, I researched that, and I looked at my other computer and went, I researched that on that computer, and then I went, you didn't even take anything in of that. And so Moira just saying that there, I'm like, oh, I don't remember reading that. So I'm like, okay, 5 out of 7. Wow, that's impactful. I might want to do some more research on that, or I just need to know that that's how it works. Don't do any research, just know that's how it works.
No, that's how that works. Yeah,
that's a total limitation there and then in my mind, and I can now see that as an opportunity to help somebody.
Yeah,
they're great ones, but I love the way you actually went shock.
Yeah.
And then and I'm like, oh yes, that's exactly it. So that's just another 5, 2, 10, 2.
5, 2, 10, 2.
Yeah.
And I ascribe numbers to it. If people don't feel comfortable with the 5 and would prefer 3 or 4, that's great. The basically what you're doing is you're breathing in for whatever count you feel comfortable, holding for a count of 1 or 2, and breathing out, and it's double the count for the in breath.
Yeah.
So if you were doing 3, a count, counting to 3 on your in breath, you might hold
Then
for
you're gonna-
1 and then out for 6.
Yeah.
But 5, 2, 10, 2.
5, 2, 10, 2 sounds so much easier. 5, 2, 10, 2. 5, 2, 10, 2. Yeah. Right. So did everybody write that down?
I've just
5,
given
2,
you a wee
10, 2.
moment. 5, 2, 10, 2.
5, 2, 10, 2. Breathe like that. Oh, that's okay. Thanks for that, Moira. I'm pleased I got that one. But that's just clearly showing there's a limitation to my
beautiful illustration of it.
yeah. How am I going to remember that? Oh my God, that sounds like a genius idea. Write it down. Duh. Is that not the most logical thing possible? So I would say limitations are definitely opportunities in some things.
So where would you feel like it wasn't?
Are you sure you want to go down this path?
Uh-oh.
What about that TV program I just showed you?
Okay, good point. Good point. But see, to me, that's still an opportunity.
I'm safe. That's an opportunity just to assess. Okay, so I'll just explain a little bit. Moira's just going, are you? I'm looking down so I don't see Moira. I want everyone to Google, or not. There's a program called Naked Attraction, and it's a dating show.
Mm-hmm.
I have to put my eyes down. It's getting all giggly already. It's a dating show where you are naked, and they assess you on your body parts, and then they assess you on the lower body parts, then the middle body parts, and then the face, and then how you talk, and then you have to say something quirky or do a little action or something, and that's the 5 areas to win the date, and then you get down to 2 people, and then they choose. I showed Moira, I don't know, a couple of minutes of it, and I just had a good laugh because I just happened to watch it last night. And that is, to me, is definitely a limitation. I'm like, why would you even get naked
Really?
on this TV show that you think it's an English program? Why? Like, would you not know that it's coming to New Zealand? Would you not know that it's now on the internet that you can watch? Is it not like, hello? And so for me, that's a limitation in my world. Like, I love being naked, nothing wrong with that in my mind, but I'm definitely not going to put it
out for the whole world to see.
and literally put it out for the whole world. But that's an opportunity for me. If I was to turn it around, this is an opportunity for me to look at how prudish you are, how judgmental you are, how freedom of speech you are, and what's really going on in the bigger picture of you're just so fascinated by this program. They say, oh, I'm a travel agent. I'm, whatever age, and I'm a travel agent. I'll be like, oh my God, how could I go on and go to a travel agent and then see that person and go, I saw you on TV last night. Like, personally. So it's definitely an opportunity for me to look at my mindset around this whole thing. So I would say that.
Right. So this is why I was bringing that up, though, too, is because
assessment.
It's an assessment thing. So Debz looks at that or shares that with me, and I look at that and think, I'm okay. I'm okay with people doing that. It's their choice. But it's a limitation that I feel into of I wouldn't do that. It's not whether I think people are right or wrong or good or bad or anything. It's that there's an assessing for me, it's like, that's just not anything I'm ever going to get involved with. And that's my opportunity. Because, and actually I said this
but I would like to work with those people on there. I'd like to go into the human behavior. I would see that as an opportunity. I'd go into the human behavior of asking them all the questions. I'd love to do that part of it with my clothes on, but I would love to do that and consult with them and just go, where's your head? Because I'd be curious to know.
That's a good point. Absolutely.
That I would absolutely love to do.
I'll run I could run their human design profiles. That would be fun.
Yeah.
But you see,
now I've gone down a path. Yeah.
This is coming into what I think I mentioned that before we even hit record, is that to me, limitations can sometimes show us where is our vibration and therefore is impacting how the law of attraction is working for us. Because the law of attraction is working all the time, whether we want to give it credence or awareness or not. It's always
around. It's
happening, but it's responding to our vibration. So why I'm bringing this up is that if I am just going to keep looking at limitations of, oh, that's wrong and that's right and that person's stupid and that I don't like that, my vibration isn't very good. It's limited. And so therefore, it's almost like the universe is just going to keep giving me more things
to wake me up.
Well, to wake me up, but to wake me up to say, hey, if that's all you're going to do is focus on the limitations and the things that you judge and think that are, that what's that person doing that for? It's like, no, to me, that is a nudge. It's an opportunity to come home to me. Because you know how when we have chaos or looking things are out of whack or off kilter around us, it's like, wait, what's not in balance within me first?
Yeah. Then
I can sit and be at peace and be okay with disparate opinions and attitudes around me, because I know there are, but I don't need to get into a limited way of thinking about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's really interesting because even the thought process is, the assessment as we called it, that is limited. If you just go, okay, I'm going to investigate that. Oh, I stop. It's actually, do I stop here? Or do I actually just do a little bit more? Like your intuition is always telling you the truth anyway. And our mind goes to the next level. Well, what if this and what if this and what if this?
Yes.
And next thing you know, you're 10 days later still trying to make a decision on that.
Right.
When you know that the decision is to not do it. And you're like, yeah, but what if? What if? And you just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's much easier to listen to your intuition because you've just given yourself 10 days of brain back. But if you think that's the pattern that you've got, that's okay. So just see it as an opportunity to assess. And when you're doing that, look at what patterns are there.
Yeah.
Because like you said, the law of attraction, it's coming in to wake you up.
Yep.
Absolutely. But is this a pattern that you thought you dealt with 6 months ago or a year ago, or is this something that's happened, like you said, you got burnt out three times, and it's like, oh, hang on, I know what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
If I don't look at stuff. So it's just a truth to wake you up.
Yes. And that's exactly it.
Makes sense.
So that to me that's how come I see all limitations as opportunities. They're opportunities to help you see maybe there are areas you need to wake up in. Maybe there are areas that you need to tell yourself the truth that you've inherited somebody else's mindset.
Yeah.
And you haven't created enough space or time to say, do I believe that? Is that right for me? Is that true for me?
Yeah.
Because I think that one, and I think also as we all journey in this game we call life, it's about becoming more and more locked into the center of us, to the essence of who we are at the core. We're pretty powerful beings.
Yeah, I think as we get older, we just start, you go to older people and they do have regrets, but they, if you asked an older person, give us a life lesson or something, they will say, just live in the now.
Yeah.
And don't regret anything you did or didn't do. Like there's.
Yeah. And play more, laugh more, go for walks more.
Yeah.
Right. Have fun, downtime more. Those are the kinds of things that I hear from people.
Yeah. And so, I think with those things, That's absolutely it. These are our limitations. Oh, I've got to do this to, I've got to earn more money to give my kids this, or I've got to do this, or I got to. No,
you
just,
don't.
Even at Christmas, Christmas and all those things, I've got to get the kids this and I've got to get the kids that. Actually, just give them an experience, give them something, when you go back, they say, oh, I remember the time that granddad did this, or I remember the time that Nana did this, or I remember the time, that my parents went and did this. And that was what we remembered at Christmas time. Even my partner, she talks about, they recreate a photo of the three siblings, the two girls and the boy,
fun.
all sitting on top of each other. And they recreate it every year. And it just happens to be a photo, that happens every year. And I think that's just a real, that's their Christmas thing. That's their Christmas
awesome.
thing.
That's really nice way to do it.
And, they're all nearly in their 50s, so it's quite a quirky little thing. And I think that's the stuff, not I remember getting a toy set when I was 10.
Absolutely.
I remember wherever we were, and now we have to put a stick picture of her in because she's not here this Christmas, or, and it's just that fun stuff.
That's the thing, is we thrive on connection, not necessarily having stuff. Yeah. We all have tons of stuff anyway. I've mentioned that before. I believe I think we're like we've got way too much stuff. And case in point for that, and I don't know if it's the same in New Zealand, how many storage units we have. They're everywhere here. And even more and more are being built. And it's like to store, I get, somebody might be having their stuff in storage temporarily while they're having a house built or they're traveling or something, but it just blows my mind how many units. And there's even one locally that they just doubled the amount of size that they have. They actually put in a full other bit.
And they're probably sold out the waiting list as well. Yeah. I've started watching, there's a program, it's not Hoarders, but it's a program on a Saturday night, and we've watched it, and there's this beautiful man on there, and he just really helps people. And what he does is he doesn't sell anything. He doesn't sell anything. What he does is he does up what they want. You can keep one or two items from your childhood. And they had a young boy who was 18 and he wants to go into the Navy. And so he's got his toys from when he was born.
Oh gosh.
Now he's not going to remember. But what he did was they went through all the toys and they cleaned them all up and everything. And it was something like he had $9,500 of stuff that he donated.
Oh, how wonderful.
I know. And then they said, the guy, and so the man, the whatever, said, we've tallied all this up and you are now donating $9,500 to this charity or this thing where you're going to gift. And he just got, he just got so emotional that this 18-year-old boy, now $9,500 is a lot of money.
It sure
so
is.
You can imagine the extent of what he had. And she got to keep a couple of things and he got to keep a couple of things that were meaningful, but knowing that you are that age and you're gifting $9,500 of your whatever.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And so that's definitely an opportunity to give back to people. I mean, I still got I look up there in my top right and there's Shirley, my teddy bear that's always been around. That's, that's pretty much all I've got from my childhood, apart from the old photos.
I don't think I have anything from my childhood.
Oh, really?
Things from my sort of teen years, but I don't think I've actually got anything from my childhood.
Oh, Shirley, my teddy bear's been my thing all through my life, actually. She's always been there. She, he. I don't even know if Shirley was a boy or a girl. Shirley was Shirley. I don't know, actually, when I think about it. Yes, got a blue outfit. Yeah, I don't know. But that's definitely our limitations. Oh, I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of this. I can't get rid of this.
Yeah.
I'm holding on to this, but it's actually an opportunity to give back, to look and go, you know what? I don't need all those things stored around here.
Absolutely.
And to give that kind of money, to me, was really significant.
No, I think that's awesome. And I love that too. I go through binges of purging and decluttering. My husband and I just did a really big one recently. And it's funny because this is something between he and I, is that I'm the one that'll go, throw that out. And he's like, no, wait, no, I might need this.
Oh yeah. I'm that
there might
one.
be a use for this.
I'm that one of, oh, hang on, let me have a look at this. And then, 24 hours later, I mean, I'm currently doing my wardrobe right now. And that's a great one, opportunities, because limitations, because we go, oh, I'm going to fit that again.
Yeah. I went through that one recently too. Yeah. Nope, you're not.
No. Are you really going to fit that one again, or what?
So that's actually a really good point, because I've done that too. And I just recently did clear out my own wardrobe, because to your point, you hold on to things like, I'm going to fit into that again. But so here's what I did to myself was, if you can get into that again, you're going to want something new and more stylish, and right.
Yeah.
And so you get back into that shape or size, then absolutely.
If you get back into that, that's by the time you by the time you get back into that, that's out of fashion. Okay. I have got a couple of really skinny, actually I don't think I've got them anymore, really powerful suits that I had when I was skinnier, but I don't even know if I've still got them now, but I was always like, well, that's a classic suit. Okay, just let it go. If you're going to get, you're right, if you're going to get back to that, then
you deserve something brand new.
Yeah, and when you do gift, there's just this freeing of handing over to someone else.
Absolutely. It's unshackling the limitations, right?
Yeah, definitely. Someone else is going to get so much joy and spark and create their own stories and their own experiences from what you give them.
Right. Yeah. Freedom from limitations, giving us opportunities. This has been a great conversation for
What's
our
happened?
100th.
Our time's gone.
I know. Our 100th episode here.
100th episode. 100th. Oh yeah, what's happened to our time? It's gone.
No. It's okay. We'll come back next week.
Okay, righto. Okay.
So, dear listeners, I hope that this has made sense to you and helped you look at limitations and maybe seen some as opportunities. And
clean out your wardrobe.
Yeah. Looking at things from a different place. But I think, and we both touched on this really big, is the willingness to assess, where are you? Where are you? How, is it door A or door B? It's okay.
Be okay with left or right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or is it blue pill or red pill? Of course, Moira will always say purple.
And Deborah would go, I'll have both.
But that's people don't realize that's why I say that, because red and blue together is purple.
Oh, I've never got that.
Yeah, that's actually why I'm being silly. I'm being quirky.
I've never thought that. Well, see, and I go, I'd take both.
So you have purple as well.
Yeah, I'm totally purple. Yeah.
All right, dear listeners, we hope you did rate yourself at the beginning. And so check back in now to see, did it change? Did it go up or down? And Deb, we were both at 2 to begin with.
Both at 2. Where am I at? Oh, I just can't believe the time's gone. A limitation opportunity. Yes. I'm going to say a 1, because I am going to go back and assess a few things that are going on in my world.
Okay.
So I'm going to say a 1.
Okay.
Just because I've added more things to my to-do list today.
And I'm going to put myself at 1 too, because I have a few things that I need to go and deeper
be wise
assess.
To assess.
Assess. Yes. So we do walk our talk here, listeners. This is how we roll.
We have to. Because we want to get through life. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, anyways, I love that we've both moved to a 1. Yeah, that was actually quite a hard rating myself then.
Yeah, that's why we both knew there was still charge there to work with.
Yeah.
Awesome conversation. Thank you, dear Deb. Thank you, dear listeners.
Thank you for our 100th episode. 100th.
Thank you for 100th.
Yeah, 100th episode. Wow, 100th.
And we'll be back with our 101 shortly.
Yeah. Fabulous.
All right. Thanks, Deb. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.